Outer Worlds! That was great. That was really, really great. I had a lovely, lovely time with that game. And oh my god, such potential for Obsidian going forward. This is the first... correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. It's the first game in this vein Obsidian has done without... They had a publisher. They had Private Division. But without a big name, massive... I don't know much about Private Division. I could be wrong. They could be massive. But without a massive name like Bethesda or anyone else they've worked for in the past, Interplay, obviously, back when they were Black Isle, seems to be the first one where they've mostly funded it themselves, from what I know. They've had a lot of freedom, a lot of amazing stuff, but it is done on quite a small budget, hence why a lot of things weren't implemented, you know? A lot of it did seem like a foundation, and I'm fine with that. For those reasons, I don't necessarily think the game is a perfect masterpiece 10 out of 10, like everyone said, because I encountered bugs. There were things that I thought could have been better. There were things, a lot of things that I thought could have been better, but I am able to look past them because it is a first step in what could be a new incredible franchise that is now potentially going to be funded by Bill Gates' bottomless pockets. If you guys don't know, Obsidian were acquired by Microsoft, and that means, hopefully, if Microsoft don't get involved, some incredible, well, I'm sure they will at some point, but, you know, as long as they give Obsidian creative freedom like they deserve, because they are legends of the industry. If you go back and see what they've done in the past, the originators of the Fallout franchise, Pillars of Eternity, they did some work on Baldur's Gate, all that amazing stuff, you know, all those absolute legends of the gaming industry. They deserve it. They deserve to be given a massive AAA budget and just make incredible RPGs, because this game, in my opinion, if you disagree, that's fine. This is my opinion. It shits on Fallout 4. I was fine with Fallout 4, but it was nothing in comparison to the early Fallouts, in my opinion. Nothing in comparison to New Vegas, definitely. Now, I can't say I prefer this game to New Vegas, because I think it is very, very different. There are similarities to Fallout, but I think it has more similarities to the 2D Fallout games than New Vegas, other than the fact it's obviously a 3D shooter RPG. Yeah. I don't like comparing them because I don't think they're all that similar, other than the fact they're done by the same studio. By the way, huge love to all the people on here, all the people this game is dedicated to, all the people who worked on the game, all the cast, everything. Well done. I love it. I love when a AA game can destroy what a lot of AAA games are doing. Bethesda haven't made a game as good as this since 2011. You know, nearly a decade ago. And I know you guys are probably tired of the Bethesda thing, especially since it's going up well after that is probably relevant, considering, you know, this is the VOD. I recorded this probably well before you're hearing it. But right now, Bethesda is still in an absolute shitstorm with 76 doing awful things again. Just wonderful, guys. It's so good. I love underdogs. And Obsidian absolutely are the underdogs that are growing up and becoming these absolute titans again. I really hope this game sold amazingly, and I really hope Microsoft will give them what they deserve. Give them that push, market their games to all hell, fucking fund them as much as they need, and they could be the new Bethesda. The good Bethesda. They could be what Bethesda can't anymore. They could be a new, on the same level as CD Projekt Red, you know, obviously with totally different forms of RPGs. They've got such a unique style, so does CD Projekt Red. A lot of RPG development studios have a unique style, and I love that. I love it. I love unique RPGs with a lot. If there's one thing you can say about this game, it's full. Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two funded this game? Oh, I take it back then. They had a massive publisher. Jesus Christ. But you know what I mean. I'm sure Microsoft will be willing to fund them a lot more than Take-Two did. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, if there's one thing you can say about this game, it is unbelievably full of heart. There is so much heart in this game. So much personality, so much passion put into it. And at the end of the day, that is incredible. Video games are art. This is absolutely art. I don't like necessarily giving games a numerical rating. I think it's kind of arbitrary because, you know, subjectivity and that. But if I had to, I'd give this game an 8. That was really good timing to go in between the music there, wasn't it? Now, an 8 might sound, you know, an 8 is a good score. I don't think every game has to be a 9 or a 10 or everything. This game is a foundation. This is the start of a new franchise. There's DLC coming. There's sequels, I'm sure. Like, they left it very much open. I don't know if it's meant to be DLC or if it's meant to be a sequel. I imagine there will be DLC to this, and I imagine there will be a sequel. I hope there's a sequel. This could be a beautiful franchise. The Outer Worlds genuinely could become massive. I don't know if they'd call the next one The Outer Worlds 2. Doesn't quite sound great, does it? But we'll see. We'll see. This is a wonderful foundation. This game is fantastic. Definitely pick it up if you haven't already. Gary Wang. Sorry. I'm sure he did great, Gary Wang. Round of applause to Gary Wang. And everyone else, but mostly Gary Wang. Oh, I didn't do the Wang count. Sometimes I like to see how many people are called Wang in credits. I've already seen many. There's another one. I just sort of let it go by. But Gary Wang was one I had to particularly point out because that is a wonderful name. Soundtrack, by the way. This game was fucking awesome. Oh, you know what? Let me point out some flaws. Enemy variety was pretty dreadful. There were like 4 types of enemies, maybe 5. Primals, Raptidons, the Mantis things that all act in basically the same way as well. Very little variation. And then the humans, obviously. And robots. Yeah, 5 different enemy types. It was fine. You know, it was fine. But it really wasn't great. And enemy variety. You really do stick with this game for the story. The gameplay's fine. There's nothing particularly amazing about the gameplay except the deep dialogue trees. I liked that. I liked how different everything would go depending on how skilled you are in certain ways. I mean, it shows at the end with the endings you can get, either from being a conversationalist god or just brute forcing it. In the end, I had to brute force it despite being conversationalist, which I thought was a bit shit. The fact you had to be god tier persuade, god tier lie, god tier intimidate was a bit like, fuck me, that is such a high bar to hit. What if you just took the wrong companions with you, which I did. If I had the Vicar, I would have been able to hack my way through it instead of Pavadi, because we don't need Pavadi's extra persuade skill. But I didn't think about that going in, and then I couldn't go back. So there is stuff like that, little things like that. The game crashed, obviously. I only had one crash, so it was relatively stable, but apparently it's affecting pretty much everyone. I believe maybe only on PC. Could be on consoles as well. I don't know. I played on PC, and it seems like a lot of people are crashing there. Not everyone, I'm sure, but I don't know. It's just kind of, it really took you out of the experience in the last fucking mission, which sucked a lot. The environments in this game were fucking stunning. That was absolutely my favorite part. I think the world building was unbelievable in a game that is short for a modern RPG. Well, for any RPG, actually, because the early Fallout 2 was like 80 hours long if you did everything, you know? I did everything in this game. It's taken me about 35 hours, I believe, which is a long game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, for people who don't play RPGs, I'm sure this is quite long. But I play a lot of RPGs. It was quite short, so I'm very, very impressed. I would have liked more. But then again, I'm also worried it would have overstayed its welcome in the fact that it is a bit bare bones being the foundation. Not bare bones, that's a wrong word, but lacking in some areas. The fact there's no romance options. The fact that the companions are a little bit, I don't want to say vapid. There wasn't enough depth to them, I don't think. They didn't talk very often. They wouldn't talk to you. I liked hearing them talk to each other, but it was nothing like other ways compared to Mass Effect. Mass Effect has the best companions in a game for me so far, I think, in an RPG. In this sense of RPG, where you can switch out your companions and do all that kind of thing. You know what I mean. There wasn't quite as much depth there. The companion missions were a bit lackluster. Nothing that stands out for me. I won't remember those companion missions in a while. You know what I mean. This game, all in all, I'm not going to do a full review because we'll be here for ages. Because there are a good balance of flaws and things this game does incredible. Pros and cons, you know. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to say that Obsidian, you knocked it out the fucking park. You shat all over Bethesda's recent offerings. And you totally deserve to. You're titans of the industry. You're absolutely legendary. And you deserve all the success in the world. But for now, guys, that is the end of my Let's Play of The Outer Worlds. When DLC arrives, I will surely be doing it. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that amazing stuff. It really does help out both me and the channel. And I will see you elsewhere. There's some amazing stuff going on the channel right now. Some amazing stuff in the past. And there'll be some even more amazing stuff coming in the future. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. But for now, this is Strike signing off. Goodbye!